because if you're alone, you're with Iblis. He's the third. So, and then people also, even just seeing people, like the Prophet ﷺ, he was with Maymuna, and it was nighttime, and he was walking, and they saw the Prophet ﷺ said, "Innaha Maymuna." He told them, it's my wife. And they said, "Anattahimuka ya Rasul, would we ever suspect you?" And he said, "Inna shaitan yajri fi ibni Adam majra dam." Shaitan flows in the veins like so even the best people can get that doubt, right? So, but there's just a lot of, the internet has created such a horrible environment for people. It's just really unhealthy. And then all these people that just attack other people. Like recently, because I was talking with Sheikh Abdullah and there was a big fitna with one scholar who said something, and then all these other scholars jump in. If this is the scholars talking like that, then what about the poor people just who aren't, if they see the quote unquote ulama attacking one another, Allah says, "La tanabazu bil alqab." Don't call one another names. The Prophet said, "Ma baru aqwam." What's up with the people that do this? So ghiba is very dangerous, and ghiba is, dhikruka akhaka bima yakrahu. It's to mention your brother with something that they would be disturbed. And then one of the Sahaba said, "When kana fihi ya Rasulullah," and like even if it's true, like he was, because this is human, right? People like to talk about other people. It's a very common thing. And Ahmad Zarruq said that the bab of ghiba is opened by how's so-and-so. Because some people ask that because they want to hear dirt, right? That's why they ask, "Oh, how's so-and-so?" Amazing. Nothing changes. Humans. So that's something really to think about. Just all these things that you say online and what's going to happen. And then you make tawbah, and what do? And then again, so just about ghiba, there's certain, there's 7 things that the ulama said that don't go under that category. So just to, for the benefit of that. It's one of the worst sins, is ghiba. فَجَنِّبْ غِيبَةً إِلَّا حُرُوفًا بِبَيْتٍ جَاءً بَعْدَ الْأَكَابِرِ. So avoid ghiba except certain reasons to do it that some of the great ulama have mentioned. تظلم واستغث واستفتي حذر وعرف بدعة فسق المجاهر. Those are the 7 things. So tadhallam is if there's a zalim and you want to tell you need help in getting rid of this zalim, it's not ghiba to do that. Another one is istaghith, like for istighatha, like calling for help. Like, oh, this person's doing this or that. And then istiftah. So one of the women asked the Prophet ﷺ, she'd been given 2 proposals about, one was from Muawiyah and Abu Jahm, and he said, "Amma Muawiyah fa su'luk," he's poor. And he says, "Amma Abu Jahm fa darrabun lin nisa," in Sahih Muslim. In the other riwayat, it says, "La yarfa' an a'tiqihi, la yarfa' al-'asa an a'tiqihi." But he said darrabani, so he was warning her against somebody who had a propensity to domestic violence. So that's not ghiba. You're warning the person. So if somebody, is asking you about a potential spouse and you know something about them, then you should let them know. That's nasiha. That's not ghiba. And inshallah, it won't be written down as ghiba because you're giving nasiha. Deen wa nasiha. And then also, حذر, to warn people about, like somebody in business dealings, things like that. You warn them. And then ta'rif, arif, like if you say, the blind, the person, he's blind. Like you're just doing ta'rif, you're just letting somebody know. Or the one with the limp. It's those things aren't, it's not ghiba if you're doing it to describe somebody so that they know who you're talking about. And then, bid'ah, like warning people about bid'ah, which is a problem now because every group thinks that every other group's a mubtadi'. And so they think they're free just to, and that's why you should do what's mujma' alayh. When there's difference of opinion, just leave people alone. It's a valid opinion to do the Mawlid. It's a valid opinion that considers it, an innovation. They're both there. The minority opinion is the second, but just leave people alone. If somebody is that's their opinion, it's a perfectly valid opinion for them to take. But don't attack other people that the ulama said that they can do that, right? So that's important. Because it's only the mujma' alayh that is yunkar. If it's agreed upon, then you make inkar of it. If it's not agreed upon, you should leave people alone. I mean, they said about al-Ma'ziri that kada la yunkiru ala ahad, and Sheikh Abdullah is like that because his knowledge is so vast that he'll say, oh, maybe he's on the opinion of so and so, and that's part of why this religion was able to be a world religion, is because it had a tolerance that other religions just didn't have. We didn't have these religious wars. If you look at the intolerance and that they've lost their religion in a lot of ways from their intolerance. And now you have all these Muslims that are becoming intolerant. And the Prophet said, you'll follow the previous religions down the lizard's hole. And that's one of their hallmarks, is the intolerance of these previous dispensations. So it's really important just to, just recognize and everybody's a alim today. All these amazing ulama. Like everybody's a scholar, and everybody has an opinion, and everybody, you're wrong, he's wrong, mashallah, it's amazing. And I mean, there's a temptation just to yanzawi for people, because it's just, you don't even want to bring that on other people, because you become a source of fitna yourself, That's why a lot of people, when things get bad, they just go in, they just ya'tazil an-nas for that reason.